Today I have got 5 decks out that I think are my Thoth decks or Thoth based decks, whatever that means. This is a question I'm trying to answer this year. Of course, there's the actual Thoth in the middle. I want to look at keywords. So this is kind of in spirit a VR to Mixtress Ray, who did the unfair comparisons keywords. But really, as well as fitting in with that, it's part of my study this year to try and get to those questions that I think sound obvious and I don't want to ask out loud. They're the questions that somebody's got to ask. And my first question with Thoth, beyond what the hell makes a Thoth deck, it's also about the keywords. Are the keywords in all of these 5 decks the same? I don't know. I'm going to put them side by side and I'm going to see if keywords are the same. So we've got Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. We've got Alistair Crowley's Thoth Tarot deck, which is the Green Box US Games. We've got the Gill Tarot by Elizabeth and Josephine Gill. We've got Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. And we have the Heindel Tarot by Herman Heindel. So I think these are some of the best backs in the whole of tarot. You can see on these two that we've got the Tree of Life. So what makes a Thoth deck? A Thoth deck, there is a real movement across the Tree of Life in these decks more than others. So I found so far. These backs are absolutely spectacular. I love the cross on the back of the Thoth. So those are the backs. I also want to do a comparison with Rider-Waite-Smith decks as well. They are all the 4. We've got the Magus on these two, Magian there, and the Magician on these. The Priestess and the High Priestess, and the Arch Priestess. This deck actually has keywords on. So this is the Navigator's Tarot. So on the 4 we have Emanation. On the Magician we have Encapsulation, and on the Arch Priestess we have Dissolution. So I know straight away that I'm going to make a grid of keywords and I need to get my thesaurus out to absolutely get into the nitty-gritty of these keywords. Conception for the Empress. Let's see. Got the Empress, just the Empress. And also you can see it really clearly with the Emperor card. There's the colours as well. I want to do a study on that as well. So on the Emperor we've got Propulsion on that one. The Hierophant becomes the Priest in the Gill Tarot, and it's Intuition. I like that idea of intuition rather than sort of studied learning. Discrimination for the Lovers. In the Chariot we have Conclusion. Wow, conclusion on that one. That speaks more of where you're going rather than the actual controlling of the chariot on the journey. We've got Strength, Omnipotence. Gosh, that's a mouthful. Strength there. Adjustment in the Thoth. Straight away I can see that there is a change to the words. Look at the colours of these two and this one. Exaltation. I wouldn't have thought that would have been a keyword that would go. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, or just Fortune here and here. Rotation. Purple background here and purple background here. Lust instead of Justice in the Thoth. It's Karma in the Tower of the Spirit, which I love. Justice here, and Destiny here. Wow, so even the names of the cards aren't the same. So the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man in all of these. It's Suspension in this deck, the Navigators, and the keyword is Inversion. And we've got Death, All of them are death and transformation here, which speaks more of the rebirth aspect of death, which I love. Again, you can see a very similar palette in those. This is more blue, this Heimdall Tarot. Art in these two decks, temperance in this, alchemy in this, verification is the key word there. So this is really interesting. So it isn't the names of the cards or the keywords that make a Thoth deck, because you can see they're different. So they're all the devil. Subjugation is the keyword there. They are all the tower with a keyword of attention. Oh, that's a really interesting keyword for the tower. This is such a beautiful star card. Revelation is the keyword for that one. Look at that, that's so beautiful. The moon. Oops, ratification for the moon. This deck is going to be so interesting. The sun, beautiful sun card here. Organisation is the keyword for the sun in this one. And then we have judgment, or the Eon card. It's the Eon card there. It's resurrection there. It's the Eon card here. So we've got 3 Eons. Very, very, very similar layout in these two. Slightly similar colour palette as well. And then the universe, or the world card in the gill. Universe in all the others. And it's consecration is the key word up there. So those are the majors, and now we come to wands. It's force here, potency. It's the ace of wands in the east in this one, and stimulation. So we've got stimulation, force and potency. The 2 of wands, let's have a look what we've got for the 2. We've got dominion, 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 convergence. The 3 of wands, virtue and virtue are here. Birth of light, cohesion and enterprise. So they are different. The 4 is the flame of spirit. So there are phrases on this one. Completion, completion here, perfection, delight. The 5 of wands is the struggle, strife, endeavour, conflict and contention. So those keywords all fit with the idea of the 5 being more difficult. The 6 of wands, so we've got victory, 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 triumph and glory. The 7 is courage, valour, valour, courage, fortitude. The 8 of wands, the lightning path here, swiftness, swiftness, velocity and speed. The 9 of wands is strength, preparation, power, intensity, eye of fire. The 10 over here is the cage. It's oppression on the Thoth, oppression here, and oppression there. Wow, we've got 4. I wonder if we're going to find a minor where all 5 line up. Right, let's have a look and see what the courts do. Sister, princess, page, princess, daughter. So we've got transformation here, equivocation there, brother, prince, prince, son and knight, affiliation, aspiration. Then we've got mother, queen, queen, mother, queen. We've got regeneration and reflection. And then we've got father, knight, king, father and king. Restriction and innovation. Restriction for the King of Wands. Restriction for the king. That just gives me so many questions. Dawn. Respiration, energy. This is the swords. The crossing for the 2 of swords. Peace, peace, peace. Concurrence. So that idea of peace, right? The Three of Swords, mourning, sorrow, desolation and recognition. They are quite different, aren't they? Right, the Four of Swords is mastery, or it's wind here, Four of Wind. Truce, rest, truce, recuperation and mastery. The Five of Wind here is fear, defeat, loss, destruction and defeat. So we've got 2 defeats. The Six is science in the Thoth. Science here as well. Clarity here, but change here. Ascendancy here. Oh gosh, they're all different. Oh, it doesn't make it any easier, does it, when they're all different? The Seven, many tongues over here. Futility, uncertainty, uselessness, ambivalence. The Eight of Swords is power shield. They're very artistic, aren't they, over here? Power shield. Whereas here it's just conflict. Curtailment, interference and interference are here. What I want to do is sit with a dictionary and study these words next to each other. I think I'm going to have to make a grid. You've got the screen. Wow. Cruelty, despair, cruelty, desperation. So these two are quite lined up on their keywords. That you've got ruin and ruin again there. Desolation, destitution, and the way of the cross in the 10. And then we've got sister, daughter or princess on page. These two have their keywords again in the courts: control and decomposition. Brother, prince, knight, son, action and penetration. Then we've got the mothers and the queens. Queen of Swords, reason and subversion. And the King of Swords, or the Knight of Swords, the father. The king here, the father. Purification and intuition. Okay, we have beauty and immersion. Two of Cups, sacred chord, love, harmony. Three of Cups, the stream of love, abundance, overflowing. So these are different this time, but these are the same. Abundance and joy. The Four of Cups is the flood. Oh, what have I done? Let's put the 4 back. The Four of Cups, the flood, luxury, satiety. Oh, I can't say that word. Mixed happiness, discontent. What? Luxury and discontent. Okay. The Five of Cups, spilling, regret, disappointment, dissipation. The Six is faith, pleasure, satisfaction, happiness, felicity. 7, insight, debauch, imagination, illusions of success, delusion. Failure for the 8, instability for the 8, seclusion for the 8, indolence and still waters. The Rainbow Mirror. You've got to love the titles of the keywords on Tarot of the Spirit. I love it. Rainbow Mirror for the 9, happiness, content, fortune and satiety. Oh my gosh, it's that word again. I can't remember where we had this keyword, but we've had that before on another card. So this isn't lining up, is it? So the 10 is the fountain of love here. Satiety. What? So it's on the 9 here and it's on the 10 there. Okay, 10 is accomplishment, success, success. So the sister and the princess, it's evolution, the key word there, and reduction there. The sun or the prince or the knight is conviction and creativity. The mothers and the queens are contemplation and fascination. Oops. You've got to love this card. The Queen of Cups in this deck is amazing. The Knight of Cups in the Thoth. Inspiration and transition. So the Ace, we've got wealth and generation. The Two of discs or stones or pentacles. Unity, harmony, permutation, changes, cause and effect. The Three of Pentacles is works, gain, work and foundation. The Four is order, the power of the earth, authority, power and power. So we've got 3 powers, an order and an authority. The 5 is the nadir, worry, adaptation, material difficulty and adversity. The 6 of Pentacles is beauty, success, well-being and compensation. The 7 is failure on these two, delay, the garden and variance. The 8 is skill, knowledge, prudence, the mountain and economy. The 9 is material gain, prudence, which was the 8 here. Okay, what's the 9 then? Gain. Acquisition on the zenith. I think I'm more confused doing this. 10 is richness, prosperity, wealth, the great work, oops, and affluence. Love this Princess of Discs card. The princess here is growth, and the page here is reservation. Look at this card, it's so gorgeous. The brother here, construction and evolution. We've got the queens and the mothers. Got the Spider Woman over here. Persuasion and nurture. Gorgeous cards. And then we have the kings or the knights. The fathers. Conception and motivation. Right, so that was it. Look what I've got to sort out now. I've got cards everywhere, all muddled. But what have I discovered from this? The keywords are not the same in these decks. Not only that, but the titles of the cards as well are not the same. Also, some 9s are the same keywords as some of the 10s, or some 7s are the same keywords as the 6s. It kind of follows the general theme, like all the keywords. So the 5s are slightly more difficult. There are some keywords I'm going to have to sit with a thesaurus and really explore and see if there are any. I'm going to see if there are any connections between them when I do that. And I've also discovered that this Tarot of the Spirit has more flowery sort of art titles, really. Makes this deck really interesting. The colours of these 3 also seem to pan out as well together. These are more bluey, I would say, and sort of neutral colours. I've learnt some things. I'm going to make a grid now. I'm going to make a grid with the keywords in and have a little sit with a dictionary and explore them. And then I'm going to do another video and I'm going to put my grid against my keywords for my Rider-Waite-Smith decks, and I'm going to try and really secure my understanding of the keywords in these decks and how they're the same, how they're different, how the Thoth system changes from the Rider-Waite-Smith system. Keywords of these Thoth-based decks are all different. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you found that interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.